In today's video, I want to go over the top 3 trades experiencing the greatest labor shortage in America today, this year in 2025. Along with that, I want to go over the statistics behind it, the cities and states that are experiencing the most labor shortages, and the reasoning why. So with that being said, let's hop into this video. Okay, if I'm going to be completely honest with you guys, I don't know these statistics off the top of my head.
What?
I'm not Isaac Newton. I don't just have these facts. So what does someone who's smart do? They go ahead and ask chat. So I asked chat, what are the top 3 trades, the statistics behind it, the reasoning why, and the cities and states that are experiencing the biggest labor shortages. So with that being said, we're going to go into the first trade experiencing the biggest labor shortage in 2025, and that is going to be electricians. We look at the statistics behind electricians. The US needs approximately 80,000 electricians annually through 2030 to meet demands driven by retirements, growth in the construction energy sector. The Associated General Contractors of America, AGC, reported in 2022 that 79% of construction firms struggle to find qualified electricians, a trend that persists into 2025 due to an aging workforce. The average electrician age is 41 years old, and insufficient new entrants. The National Electrical Contractors Association notes that 70% of supervisors in the electrical industry are baby boomers, nearing retirement and exaggerating the shortage. Now we look at why is there a shortage of electricians. Retirement outputs with workers with only 9% of skilled trade workers aged 19 to 24. Declining vocational training and societal bias towards college degrees deter young people. Demand is spiked by energy transition projects, for example, energy and wind infrastructure, and reshoring of manufacturing. Now, if we look at the most affected city-states, we're going to be Alabama, with Alabama only being 73 available workers per 100 open jobs. Arkansas, 69 available workers per 100 open jobs, among the worst ratios. We look at Texas, Houston, and Dallas, high demand due to booming construction and energy sectors with firms reporting chronic electrician shortages. In Florida, Miami, and Tampa, rapid population growth and housing development strains the electrician workforce. I would also probably throw in there Phoenix, Arizona. That's where I live. There is a massive demand for construction everywhere. Like there's a lot of building going on. I believe Phoenix is like one of the top growing cities in America right now. It's a lot of building, a lot of construction. With all that construction, you're going to need you're going to need electricians, right? That's all there's to it. So I would also add Phoenix to that list. Let's look into trade number 2 is going to be welders. No specific welders in general, but welders in general. And we look at the shortage statistics behind welders. An estimated 330,000 welders are needed by 2028, which is just in 3 years, to meet demands in manufacturing, construction, and energy sectors. The Bureau of Labor Statistics projects 584 annual job openings for skilled trades like welders, with only 26,000 net new workers expected annually from 2022 to 2032, creating a massive gap. In Q3 of 2024, 20.6% of U.S. manufacturing plants cited labor shortages as a key constraint, with welding incentive sectors like heavy machinery particularly impacted. So if we look at, like welders, there's a lot of different sectors that welders are needed in. That's manufacturing, that's pipeline, that's aerospace, there's underwater welders, there's welders needed for like literally everything. Welding is probably it's a very general, broad trade to get into, but that's what they're referring to is that we need welders, right? We need welders in every different sector. We have pipeline. It's like all other trades, commercial. If you work in home or HVAC, you have commercial, you have residential, you have industrial, you have service. So you have these different sectors and you need people to work in all those different sectors. So welding is obviously a big one, and there's a lot of individual sectors that need to be filled. So we look at why the shortage. Now, first one is going to be aging workforce. Over 22% of manufacturing workers are 55 years old and plus, and welders face early retirements due to physical demands. Lack of training programs, only 3,400 programs completion annually for construction-related trade versus 151,000 openings. Cultural stigma and reduced vocational education limit new entrants. Now we look at the worst affected states and cities. Number one, or the top of the list, is Louisiana, the Baton Rouge and New Orleans area. Heavy reliance on welders for oil, gas, shipbuilding industries with shortage delaying projects. Houston, Texas, manufacturing and energy sectors report acute welders shortages. North Dakota, energy and infrastructure projects face labor constraints with only 85 workers per 100 jobs. Ohio, specifically Cleveland and Columbus, manufacturing resurgence increases demand for welders. I'd probably also add Detroit, Michigan to that list because Detroit's like the biggest manufacturing city in the country, and there's always a need for welders, whether that be like welders and iron workers or welders just in general. A lot of manufacturing there. So I think Detroit could be added to that list as well. We're looking at number 3 for the most in demand or trade that's experiencing the biggest labor shortages, and that's going to be plumbers. Now, plumber shorter statistics. Approximately 550,000 plumbers, which is over 500,000, are needed by 2030 to replace retirees and meet construction demands. The BLS, Bureau of Labor Statistics, projects steady demand for plumbers with 3 to 5% annual job growth through 2032. But only 2 younger workers enters for every 5 retirees. So let's just think about that for a second. For every 5 guys that retire, only 2 are coming in to replace them. We can look at that statistic and really kind of break it down. And it's not only the issue of that labor gap. Well, only 5 guys are leaving, only 2 are coming in. It's also that training, right? So like for 5 of those guys are retiring and leaving the trade, they're taking all that knowledge and experience with them. So they're not able to teach the newer generation that's coming in. So that's also going to have a ripple snowball effect in the future for really the training education for the future generation of plumbers as well. So we can look at in 2024, the construction industry needed 500,000 additional workers on top of normal hiring, with plumbing among the hardest hitting trades. So between the 3 trades, electricians, welders, plumbers, there's obviously excessive demand. There's labor shortages, as mentioned in those cities and states. If you live in any one of those cities or states, I think, hey, if you want to become an electrician, plumber, or get in the welding industry, why not look into it? If you're trying to get into a blue collar skilled trade, if there's a labor shortage, if there is that gap, that also means there's going to be that demand. I don't think that barrier to entry would be that hard if you're looking to get started in one of those trades. Also, if you want to become an electrician or you want to become a plumber or HVAC, now there are ways to get into it, but it can be kind of rough. It can be kind of intimidating to go into it with no prior knowledge. That's why I partner with Course Careers. You'll find links in the description below where you can go enroll in their free courses, free electrician, free plumber, free HVAC courses, intro courses for you guys to learn, get a better introductional, more knowledge about these trades and what they look like and how to get started. So if you guys want to learn more about that stuff, go check pinned comments and links in the description to learn more there. The interesting thing about all of this is if we look at the general trend behind why there's this labor shortage and these statistics exist, the U.S. labor shortage is skilled trades is driven by an aging workforce, which is obviously the biggest one, with over 40% of skilled workers are over 45 years old. Declining vocational education, with our high schools, shop class is like a rare commodity. Like most high schools don't have the opportunity to have a shop class. So that's obviously an issue. A cultural shift towards college degrees, that's always been a thing for I think the last 25 years. I would agree that they definitely push college more than going to a trades because the whole thing of, high schools probably get some sort of backing from colleges if they're able to send their students to a university. Follow the money. I'm sure you could probably figure that out. The construction industry alone needs 439,000 to 722,000 new workers annually through 2025, with skilled trades like these 3 I just mentioned taking the most brunt. If we look at the economic impact, unfilled jobs could cost the U.S. economy upwards to $1 trillion, that's trillion with a T, by 2030 due to production delays and rising cost. it's not just about having that labor shortage, can't find electricians, plumbers, welders. It's not about that. It's also about the economy. Like if these projects, these things can't get done because of this lack of the workforce, it just has this whole, wild effect on everything else. The economy is going to get hit by 1 trillion. That's insane to me. We can look at the state level severity. So states with the lowest worker to job ratios, for instance, like Arkansas, Alabama, North Dakota, are going to face the worst shortages, while cities in high growth regions like Texas and Florida see amplified demand due to construction and population growth. So obviously more people are moving and living in Texas, Florida, Arizona. So yes, there's a lot of construction going on, but there's also more people to fill those jobs versus the lower populated states. There's still a demand, but there's not enough people to fill that demand. It's just interesting to see that, yes, the common reason why there's shortages is basically because the retirement rate, because people are not, willing or wanting to get into the trades. There's less training about this stuff, about the trades, vocational schools, high schools not teaching it, etc. So, I mean, it all has, you clump them all together, and there's a reason why we're having this right now. So if you guys are in any one of these states or cities, if you guys work in any one of these trades, plumbers, electrician, welders, or even whatever trade you work in, are you experiencing some sort of labor shortage in your area, in your trade? I'd be curious. Put it in the comments down below. And yeah, if you guys have any questions about getting started in these trades, or if you want to know more, if you have questions, concerns, reach out, put them in the comments below. Go to the website, bluecollaredu.com, to learn more about how to get started in these trades and just general knowledge and get a little bit more education about these things. You can go take the free trade quiz if you're curious about what trade is for you, and put your question or concern. You can click the top right corner. There's a tab. You can just go ahead and just put your question or concern there, and I'll get that directly in my inbox. I'm really stuttering my words right now. Anyhow, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video with Blue Collar EDU. I'm here to expose, teach, educate you guys about blue collar career opportunities, how to get started in the skilled trades. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.